Don't head to the hotel. Don't head up to meet and have a beer with Josh and Mike Wozniak up at Sound Pony. Hang out here. We want to recognize our podiums early on here in the following race. But right now, we want to say thank you to all our great sponsors, race officials. Our final pre-flight instructions, of course, courtesy of Jeff down there with the wireless mic. Get these guys situated here as we send them on out into the L-shaped drag race that is the FC Tulsa Arts District Criterium. So opening lap here for men's Cat 4. Early flyer going off the front. Get some bib numbers for you momentarily. Keep an eye out here. Check out all of our men's Cat 4. Get our official peloton size as well. Opening lap here, 40 minutes of racing. So we had talked about a lot of these races and how long the average lap time is and everything else. This time we are definitely under 2 minutes, about 1:56 there, 1:57. Again, we'll recognize some of the names and faces. We're early on here as we're on to lap number 2. Looking at our peloton make their way through turn number 2 on the backside of the Guthrie Green, right in front of Griffin Communications. Alrighty here, men's Cat 4. Again, we're going to be recognizing our podiums in the women's 2-3 women's masters coming up momentarily. Right now, it's on to lap number 2 as we check out bib number 630. Right now, your early race leader in the men's Cat 4, Willie Gomez. Them Bama's racing. Them Bama's racing. That man is off the front early on here. Right off the gun, really, making the attack. So he's on his way on the backside of the course. We'll keep an eye out here as it is early, 40 minutes of racing. We're also gonna set the washing machine on agitate. Toss out a couple $100 cash preems, courtesy of some of our great preem sponsors, Bicycles of Tulsa and Smith Farm and Garden. But right now, it is Willie Gomez, them Bama's racing, as he makes his way down the hill. And we're looking, it's the first time we rolled out the Cadillac. Courtesy of Don Thornton Automotive, our official pace car sponsor. Gomez rolls on through. Tell you what, that's about a half this straightaway is his lead. But here comes some movement from the peloton. Leonel Lopez with the Brick Squad out of Oklahoma City. He's making the move. Gonna start drawing out a long single file of chasers in the peloton. The Viking, Ken Smith, just rolled through. We do have a rider that lost a wheel there, went down on the turn number 2. Good news is we're still early in this race, so we still have some free laps. So we'll be able to feather people back in from the State Wheel Cycling tent, which is down there at Main Street off to our west of the start-finish line. Taking a look there at turn number 2. Did have a rider, went down, that's like 686. 686 will be Everett Wilson, Major Motion Cycling Club. Took off a little skin there on the leg, but didn't look too worse for the wear. So if you're hanging out here watching the race, and you're trying to figure out why are there people on bikes riding on the sidewalk, heading back over towards the wheel pit, we still have a lot of time left in this race. So we have free laps. So if you're involved in a crash or some type of mechanical, you can head on back over and get back into the race. In fact, I think that's what we have right here. We have one of our racers coming back through on the sidewalk. That'll be number 695, Kenny Stringfellow, here out of Oklahoma. He'll make his way back down. A couple other racers there. It'll be 690, which is Timothy Bowen out of Tennessee. He'll make his way on down. 671, that is David Simon, United Cycling out of Texas. So, again, early on in this race, we'll see some of these racers making their way for the free laps. So 620, that's going to be Clay Downey, racing with JDSV, St. Vitus race team here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you'll have I don't know how many people, 5, 6 people, maybe you'll get feathered back in. Not a big group. Last night in some of the pro races, we did see some of the early crashes that split the field, and you had 20 or 30 racers at a time getting pushed back in. As again, you have free laps. So if you're still ahead of, I think it's 6 to go, I believe, that's when they make the cutoff. There's still plenty of time here. We're going to try to recognize our podium. If you are in the podium for the women's 2-3, and I think, Scott, we're going to have a Masters podium as well. So we'll have the women's Masters podium and a women's 2-3. So if you're in the top 3 of either one, make sure you're down here at the start-finish line. Across the way here on the Guthrie Green side of the street, as we're going to be recognizing the women's Cat 2, Cat 3, and women's 40-plus master podiums coming up. So all this administration work behind the scenes that we were talking about, we've had a rider bridge on up. That's going to be 682. So Willie Gomez has a friend. His name's Jamie Walden, racing out of Arkansas. So it's Walden and Gomez sitting 1-2 as they make their way downhill, heading towards the Tulsa Theater. So once again, we're going to be recognizing our podiums for the women's 2-3 and Masters. Here's the thing, we're actually doing a women's 2 podium, a women's 3 podium, and a women's Masters podium. So 3 different podiums we'll be recognizing. So we're going to try to make sure, if you're in earshot, we need Lynn Wilson, Shari Stillman-Corbett, Kim Chance, Jade Stevens, Emily Leonard, Claire Abry, Regina Alarcon or Regina Dottie, Camila Arenas, and India Harvey. We are doing a women's 2, women's 3, and women's Masters podium. So 3 different podiums. Regina Alarcon, Regina Doty, Camila Arenas, India Harvey, Jade Stevens, Emily Leonard, Claire Abry, Lynn Wilson, Shari Stillman-Corbett, and Kim Chance. We're going to recognize 3 different podiums: women's Masters, women's 2, and women's Cat 3. All right, as we clean up the backside of our men's Cat 4 race course, still looking towards the front, Willie Gomez and his friend, Jamie Walden. Gomez, Walden, 1-2, opening up this gap, working together. That's the thing. It's still early on, and we haven't even tossed out any of our 2 cash creams coming up. But it's forcing everyone to get on the front foot to go chase. And look in there, it looks like it could be Luke Graham. Cool Beans cycling out of Missouri. Got a little bit of a animal print camouflage thing going on there on the sleeves. I guess you can wear jerseys like that when you spell your team name K-E-W-L-B-E-A-N-S. Cool Beans. I don't even know if the cool kids spell it that way, but right now, Mr. Cool Beans himself, Luke Graham, looking to try to bridge on up to Gomez and Walden. Again, we're going to try to recognize our women's 2, women's 3, and women's Masters podium. So it's actually 3 different podiums that we're going to try to have here. We need Lynn Wilson. I think I see Lynn over there, but Lynn Wilson, Shari Stillman-Corbett, Kim Chance, Jade Stevens, Emily Leonard, Claire Abry, Regina Alarcon or Doty. We had Doty on the start sheet. Camila Arenas, India Harvey, 1, 2, and 3 there. We'll just try to keep an eye out. Have Scott try to keep me abreast of everyone there. So right now we need Lynn Wilson, Shari Stillman Corbett, Kim Chance, Jade Stevens, Emily Leonard, Claire Avery, Regina Alarcon, Camilla Arenas, and India Harvey. We are going to be recognizing our podiums in the women's 2, women's 3, and women's masters. So let's take it back here to the men's Cat 4. About 10, just under 11 minutes. 11 minutes in to our men's Cat 4 40-minute race. About 25% into it. We're probably, we're kind of pacing ourselves, but I think we'll be doing the first one coming up momentarily. As we get our follow moto on through and we look back, that gap's starting to come down a little bit for Walden and Gomez. Look at the official chase clock coming up. But Jamie Walden out of Arkansas, and then Willie Gomez, been our racers at the front. Willie Gomez racing with them, Bama's racing. He's been up there early on. He was shot out of a cannon early on and has been part of this two-man break. So we look back, we'll start the chase clock. They rolled through at 11:52. We'll see how far the peloton is back. Not 10 seconds. So it's in single digits. Let's call it about 7 or 8, maybe 8 or 9 seconds there. As again, we're going to be recognizing our women's Cat 2, women's Cat 3, and women's Masters podiums coming up momentarily. Alrighty, it's about that time, folks. Break on down $100 and toss it out. Cold hard cash. We're going to be rolling out a $100 cash premium courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. We'll wait for those race leaders next time they roll on through. Thing is, it's only 9 seconds was the lead, so we're not going to do a field preem. We definitely will be doing a preem for everybody. A go get 'em preem, exactly. Hang the carrot out there to activate the chase. Okay. Washing machine on, agitate. So, looking up there, Gomez looks like maybe he's given up the ghost on the one-man break. I guess Walden, yep, Walden has not given up the ghost yet. So Gomez, taking a sip of water as they hit the downhill. He's gonna allow himself to get folded back in, still with plenty of time here. We're only 13 minutes into this 40-minute race. Walden, messing with his Garmin. Don't lose that thing. You'll never find it. It slides into the team tents over there. But Walden makes that left-hand turn. When he rolls through, we're going to ring the bell for a preem. $100 cash preem, courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. Our celebrity, that's a $100 preem, $100 preem, Mr. Jamie Walden, this is a $100 preem. They're gonna come chase you down, Jamie! $100 cash preem, courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. We got Ribbon, or Rivet, or Ribbon, or Ribbit is our celebrity bell ringer. Something may have been lost in translation there, but it's $100, and it's a preem lap. Jamie Walden out of Arkansas, he'll look over his right shoulder. Still got about a half a city block, as now we'll zoom back out and see the chase is about to make their way onto Main Street. All righty, without further ado, we will do the podium for our women's masters. A former Masters national champion, always loves racing in Oklahoma because she's always on the podium. Coming out of the Texas Dallas Metroplex in third place, Kim Chance. Making her way up to the second place step in our women's masters podium, Shari Stillman Corbett. And racing for a great cause, racing for a lot of different things with the Lance Project. It's Lynn Wilson, multiple preem winner, and your winner in the women's 40 plus top step Lynn Wilson. Second step, Shari Stillman Corbett. And in third place, Kim Chance. Our women's masters podium. So it is a preem lap, but I tell you what, we thought that we set this thing alight. We thought it's only 8 or 9 seconds. There's no way they're gonna let Jamie Walden run away and win this $100 preem, and that's exactly what the peloton has done. So whenever Jamie rolls through, Mr. Walden will tell him 12 laps to go. Clock's counting up. We've hit about 16 minutes, and now we're gonna start counting the laps down. 12 to go, 12 to go, 12 to go. 12 laps to go. As that's $100 of cold hard cash in the pocket of Jamie Walden. Here comes the peloton with 12 to go. Tell you what, that 8-9 second lead may have gone up. Definitely didn't go down, as he was able to maintain that lead the entire preem lap to take that $100. Just you wait, though. We have another cash preem coming up over the final 12 laps. Now, there are certain rules and regulations and common courtesy of the road. You don't throw a preem in with 2 to go, 3 to go, or 4 to go. So give us a little time, but we'll toss off the second cash preem coming up in a little bit. That'll be a $100 preem, courtesy of Smith Farm and Garden. Coming up next after our men's Cat 4, it will be our juniors race. Different categories. One of those, a lot of fun to watch, not as much fun to score. So many different categories, age groups, all that, racing at the same time. But one thing that is apparent, I shouldn't say apparent, one thing that is in the works this year, it's the first year that the juniors are part of the American Criterium Cup. So they actually get points for the ACC point standings. So the juniors will have our rising target, rising talent. They're targets, though, when it comes to a lot of these big name teams looking for the next wave, the next generation of American cyclists. But these rising talents of 15 and 16 and 17 and 18-year-old juniors will be racing coming up after our men's Cat 4. And that is presented by the Renaissance Financial Group, the ACC, American Criterium Cup points for the ACC juniors. Got the chase clock going here for Walden. I think he's increased this lead. 8 or 9 seconds a couple laps ago. It's now into double digits. It's not just double digits. He has doubled his lead. So he kept it around 8 or 9 seconds. We thought, okay, we'll have a preem lap. In that preem lap, you got to think he has to lose time. He didn't. He maintained the 8 or 9 seconds. So here you go. All right, you've burned some matches. You won the preem. Guess what's going on now? He doubled his lead over that last lap. 18 seconds with 11 laps to go. He's got time to head up and see Gifford and Wozniak up at Sound Pony. He's going to have such a lead. No, I'm just kidding. Leads can go very fast. But Jamie Walden looking very strong, taking that cash preem as we're ready for another podium. Alrighty, we're still going to wait on our women's Cat 2 podium, but right now, our women's Cat 3, we have a couple of the racers there, and we will recognize our women's Cat 3 podium in third place. Making her way to the stage, it will be Claire Abry. In second with the silver medal, Emily Leonard. And in first in our women's Cat 3, Jade Stevens. She brought her own cheering crew with her. Jade and the fam cheering on her victory here in the women's Cat 3. So again, your podium in the women's Cat 3, Jade Stevens, Emily Leonard, and Claire Abry, 1, 2, and 3. So well, we actually got our answer. 20 seconds. Jamie Walden's put another 2 seconds into that lead. It went from 8 or 9 seconds for 2 laps in a row up to 18. And now 20 seconds, a 20-second lead. We talk about it sometimes. You burn some matches early, you may kind of go out too early, but then sometimes, especially when you look here, the peloton on the Jumbotron, a little spread out. It's not a long, thin line. There's not a lot of domestiques up at the front. They're trying to burn matches to draw this back. I know there's still 10 laps to go, but the thing is, the way this course goes, you come down this finishing straight and you hit turn one, turn two, it's you kind of run away and hide. And the thing is, if you can't see the rabbit, the chase hounds, they kind of forget about it. They start looking at each other. They're like, oh, well, we'll never catch him. 20 seconds isn't a lot, but again, it's grown 3 laps in a row. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. If it grows again as we get under 10 laps to go, you gotta wonder if maybe the ghost has been given up by the peloton and they're gonna start looking around each other for the final 2 spots on the podium. Reminder, coming up next is our junior race. Juniors coming up next, followed up by our kids race, 9 and under. The kids race 9 and under coming on up after the juniors. But right now we're getting to the second half of our men's Cat 4. Under 10 laps to go. Under 10 laps to go. All right, the junior race is coming up, the kids race is coming up, but right now the men's Cat 4, still, as we said, under 10 to go. We'll have to check that chase clock. 8, 9, 18, 20 seconds. Now it looks like there's a little bit of a movement. Maybe a BMC Walmart cycling racer trying to move up on the inside. We'll keep an eye there as we'll make that left-hand turn, dive bombing on that inside corner. We are definitely watching that lead grow. Jamie Walden, I know Tulsa doesn't have an Ironman anymore, but if they do, come on back and do the time trial. Get in time trial mode, because that's what you're doing right now. 22, he put another 2 seconds in. So, Jamie Walden, having won the Preem, he had an 8-9 second lead, made it 9 seconds. Then he made it 18, he doubled his lead. Now he went to 20, now 22 seconds. As we now have 9 laps to go, Jamie Walden, and now we start to finally see some, maybe a little more impetus in the peloton, as it's now a long, thin line. Okay, now you can see they finally got on the horn. There are no race radios here in the men's Cat 5 field, but somebody kind of figured out what's going on, that, hey, wait a minute. We're on the wrong end of this. We're watching these guys watching this guy run away from us as he's extended it up to 22 seconds. Here's the thing, it's big enough lead. We're gonna do a field Preem. Next time the field rolls through, we'll do a field Preem, $100 cash, courtesy of Smith Farm and Garden. Liam, our new celebrity bell ringer for this Preem lap. Again, we're gonna look, here's our race leader, Jamie Walden, running away and hiding. Jamie, 22 seconds was the last lap. We'll figure out exactly the chase clock now, but it has grown the last 4 laps from what was about an 8-second lead up to 22 seconds. We are gonna ring the bell for the Preem lap. It's a Preem lap, Preem lap, Preem lap for the field, for the field, for the field. Field Preem, field Preem, field Preem. Dylan Kale, Grind City Racing out of Tennessee, leading the chase here. First time we've called Grind City Racing. And I tell you what, we didn't need the Preem to antagonize, well, we don't need to antagonize the Cyborg, but we didn't need a Preem to antagonize the chase. We saw about a half a lap ago that long, thin line. They figured out, man, we are on the back end of this. And they are on the front foot as we watch that lead now get cut by 7 seconds. So what had been an amazing growth of that lead from 8 to 22 seconds is now back down to 15. 15 seconds with 8 laps to go, and it's also a field Preem. Tell you what, he may be part of the field when they roll on through. We're going to do the women's Cat 2 podium. Without further ado, let's recognize our women's Cat 2 podium. In third place, India Harvey. Last year's winner, making her way back to the podium in second, Camila Arenas. And winning it here this year, coming all the way from the West Coast, the race in Tulsa, tough, Regina Alarcon. 1, 2, 3, Regina, Camilla, and India, your women's Cat 2 podium. LA Sweat, flanked by the two Los Angeles Bicycle Academy racers, 1, 2, and 3 in our women's Cat 2 podium. So the chase clock was down to 15 with 7 to go. They have cut another 5 seconds off, down to 10 seconds. So here's the thing. You've been off for so long. You saw it balloon all the way up to 22 seconds. All right, they're going to catch you. You've seen, like, it's the negative returns on lap after lap now. The positive returns are no more for Jamie Walden. Here's the thing. You still have under 7 laps to go. Get feathered back in. You look down on the Jumbotron as he about makes his way onto Main Street. Let him catch you. Get back in. Bring the heart rate back on down. Kind of chill out. Take it, you know, it's a hot day. I don't see any bottle cages on his rig there, so he doesn't have any water, but at least try to bring your heart rate back down. Get yourself back into the, and there I am corrected by the Jumbotron. He does have a drink of water there. So Jamie Walden trying to stay hydrated here as we're under 7 to go. Let him catch back up to you. Get yourself back in the fold, and here's the thing. We've seen he has the ability to make a little bit of attack. Do you maybe make an attack when we do the next preem? Not try to win the preem, but counter over the top. We shall see as we are under 7 laps to go in our men's Cat 4 field. Sorry about that. We already did the preem. The field preem kind of got gathered up there because we watched that lead come on down and down. We'll try to officially recognize who won that second preem. 6:14, so we awarded the Indiana racer racing with Midwest Devo, Jackson Clary, taking that second preem of the day, $100 in cash, courtesy of Smith Farm and Garden. Jamie Walden, we thought he was maybe going to soft sell this one, soft pedal down. So it gotten all the way back down to 10 seconds here with 6 laps to go. 6 to go, 6 to go, 6 to go. Tell you what, it may have gone back the other way. 14 seconds, he's got 4 seconds back in. So this has been a yo-yo effect. I have maybe buried Jamie Walden too soon here because there's a bunch of tomfoolery, lollygagging going on, shenanigans in the peloton here as we're under 6 to go. He's pushed that lead back up 4 seconds to 14. Chris Evans, get out there. It's only 14 seconds. So 14 seconds. He's able to get 4 more seconds in. We did see a couple racers trying to come off the peloton. I believe that was Willie Gomez, who'd been towards the front early on in this race. Maybe one of our OK flyers. Maybe. Aiden White. I have to take a look there. I could not see the number on that. But now as we look to the Jumbotron, those Willie Gomez and the OK Flyer, they've been gathered at, they've been brought back into the fold. Jamie Walden, though, still by himself. Again, we've watched that lead go 8, 18, 20, 22, 15, 10, but now back up to 14. So again, with some of the shenanigans going on in the peloton, allowing him to grow it back out. So he's on the downhill, trying to use gravity as his friend here as he makes his way down the hill towards the Tulsa Theater. Looking back on the telescopic telephoto lens of the Jumbotron, courtesy of Quick Trip, your official live stream sponsor. We're seeing, it looks like maybe some of the racers from Texas. Again, that may be, I'm sorry, Tennessee. Marks Bensdorf Racing, that's possibly Edivar Adames. We shall see that white, red, and blue of Marks Bensdorf Racing, BPC Cycling out of Tennessee. So next time we see him roll through, it'll be 5 laps to go. Here comes the lead moto. Actually, I think that's the follow moto. And then we'll be looking for our race leader. Actually, it was the lead motor. And there's Jamie Walden. 5 to go, 5 to go, 5 to go. It had ballooned back up to 14 seconds last time through. Here they come. Some riders off the front, racers off the front, now down to 9. So we've gone 15, 10, 14, 9. His lead bouncing back and forth. Again, it's kind of cruel. You thought for Jamie, probably the best bet would have been if he would have slowed down. They would have caught him maybe with about 7 to go. Now they've let him dangle out there for a while. He's had to just eat the wind, eat the watts for a while. Jamie Walden now making that right-hand turn up out of the saddle. He's in the drop. Down in the drops, up out of the saddle. Breathing through his eyeballs as he makes his way up towards Sound Pony Hill. That is an OK Flyer coming off the front there here in our men's floor. We're trying to see what that number is. Who that is from the local junior circuit here in the state of Oklahoma. Jamie Walden, though, head down a little bit as maybe 6'9". Trying to see that number, 687, I believe. That's not right. Let's try to get it figured out here for you. Who that junior racer is, but he has made his way all the way onto the wheel. So Jamie Walden now with 5 to go, and is there going to be a counterattack? Kenny Stringfellow making his way down there. Walden will peel off. He'll set himself up about 4 or 5 laps deep here as we're about, 4 or 5 wheels deep as we go 4 laps to go. So Kenny Stringfellow at the front, trying to see the number of our OK Flyer there. Winters, Leaf Winters. Some folks, some better eyes. 687, Leaf Winters of the OK Flyer, sitting second wheel right behind Stringfellow as we now have 4 to go. 4 to go, 4 to go, 4 to go, 4 laps to go. Men's Cat 4, 40-minute race, 33 minutes into this one, and now just around, or just under 8 minutes to go. So Jamie Walden, life unfair there. We thought maybe he was going to run away with it. We'd watched the lead go up to 22 seconds. We'd watched it come back down. He pushed it back up to 14, but the chasers were too strong and brought him back into the fold. As we look at that Jumbotron, not Jumbotron, we look at the Jumbotron to look at the Peloton, Louis Vuitton, Robotron, and another celebrity sighting, Tanya, coming out of the crowd, ringing the bell. She just came down to see the Woody Guthrie Center, didn't realize there was a bike race going on, and now she's pressed into duty, having to stretch out that right arm. Last thing you want is have a medical filing with your insurance company for throwing out a shoulder, ringing the bell when we get to 1 to go as we get to the business end of our men's Cat 4 race. It is under 4 to go. They make that left-hand turn at the top of Main Street. They avoid the shadow of 244. They get ready to do the white knuckle drop as they head down to the Old Lady Brady Tulsa Theater for the 4th to last time as they make their way down, and another cessation of hostilities. As look at them, they're 6-7 wide as they come down the hill as they navigate it with, it will now be 3 laps to go. Alrighty, 3 to go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, usually I wait till 2 to go, but get off your duffs. Come to the barriers. There are 3 laps to go. Cheer on these racers. They're working harder than you are. Let them know how much you appreciate the effort as we are at the business end. 3 laps to go in our men's Cat 4 field. 40 minutes of racing coming down to 3 laps of glory for our men's Cat 4. Here on day number 2 of the 2024 St. Francis Tulsa Cup. Brought to you by FC Tulsa and the Arts District Criterium down here at the beautiful Guthrie Green. We got the kids zone set up over there, but who cares about that? That's going to be the kids zone after party because the kids race is coming up in a little bit. Right now we got the men's Cat 4, then we'll have the juniors, then we'll have the under 9 kids race. Right now we got the LA Bicycle Academy party going on at the podium. LABA in the house. representing on our women's podiums in the 2-3 and Masters field. So here we are, final 3 laps, under 3 to go. Again, not that long, thin line of racers that we saw, that whenever the peloton drew back, Jamie Walden, who'd been on that solo reconnaissance mission after lap after lap. But here's a little bit of a dig. Putting a little standing up dig, it's gonna be Kenny Stringfellow from Tulsa. He'll make his way, he'll take that left-hand turn. He'll be in the shadow of the OK Pop Museum, right there next to the shadow of 244. Again, they navigate the left-hand turn off of Main onto Cameron, avoiding the hay bales and the curve there. They'll make that left-hand downhill turn. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look off to the west, we'll be waiting to see our lead moto. We'll be waiting to see our pace car, courtesy of Don Thornton Automotive Group. And then we'll be waiting to see the peloton as we're gonna get to the penultimate lap of our men's Cat 4 race. It is coming up on 2 to go. Kenny Stringfellow would make that a little attack. They brought it back. They're letting him set up front. It's downhill, but letting him eat a little bit of this wind. Kind of coming out of the southwest, possibly, but now they'll make that left-hand turn. Stringfellow up front. The OK Flyer Leaf winners there as well. It is now 2 to go, 2 to go, 2 to go. The penultimate lap of our men's Cat 4. Day 2, 2024 edition of the St. Francis Tulsa Tough. 18 edition took us 20 years to get us to this edition, but here we are, 2 to go, 2 to go, 2 to go, 2 to go. 2006 it started, and there was a couple of spare wheels, a trash can on a corner, and 18 years later, look what we have. We've had the ability to watch Tulsa grow around us as this race has grown from a local to a national to an international level event. Heck, you look last night, local hero out of the United States, Luke Laperti, he wins the men's Cat 1. He's won it before. 2022, he was the men's Pro Omnium winner, racing with the Continental Team Trinity. He races with the Wolfpack, Soudal Quickstep, the team of Tom Bonin, the team of Julian Alaphilippe, cycling panache, cycling sexiness. And here it is, Luke Laperti comes all the way back to Tulsa and wins last night. So this is an international level event, but here's the thing. Your men's Cat 4, these are the weekend warriors. These are your dads, your brothers, your sons. These are people that, they try your patience, you gotta imagine. Did they get the chores done? Did they do the laundry? No, because they had to go ride 100 miles on Wednesday night ride. They had to head out on a Sunday. So here's the culmination of all that effort as we're gonna be ringing the bell for our men's Cat 4, your weekend warriors. Some of these are probably gonna be racing Masters in a couple years. Some of these racers, maybe 3s, 2s, future pros. But right now, who cares about that? Let's talk about the next lap plus. When they come on down the hill and make the left-hand turn to our finishing chute, it'll be the last lap. It'll be 1 to go. It will be the bell ringing time for our men's Cat 4. I have some volunteers up here to help me. We also got somebody stretch out that arm there. Make sure that arm's good. We got celebrity bell ringers, and we have junior bell ring, 1 to go hollers. There we are, 1 to go, 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 1 to go. 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go. The final lap, the tip of the spear. Our gladiators take one more L-shaped trip around the meat grinder. That is the FC Tulsa Arts District Criterium. They navigate turn number 1, about to hit turn number 2 on the backside of the Guthrie Green. Little shout out to the CBS affiliate, Griffin Communications, right there in front of them as well. Hopefully you got some shade down there underneath the big patio they have on the front of Griffin Communication. And now they're about to make that right-hand turn. So, starting to stretch out the peloton just a little bit. It'll be breathing through your eyeball time as they make that right-hand turn onto Main Street. They're Sound Pony Hill, we're sending them your way one final time. And who is on the front? Jamie Walden. We've done and buried that man multiple times in this race. We watched his lead go up to 22 seconds. It came down to 10. It went into 14. He was gobbled up with 5 to go. And who is leading the peloton around the shadow of 244? Jamie Walden out of the state of Arkansas or Arkansas, depending on where you're from. Here we are. They're about to make that final left-hand downhill, and moving towards the front will be, I believe, Edovar Adams racing with Mark Spinsdorf Racing out of Tennessee. Again, they're about 3 or 4 wide. Some of these guys looking over each other's shoulders. Who's gonna make the attack? Will someone make the attack? The thing is, if you don't make the attack, you gotta get on your horse and you gotta maintain that sprint. you can start the sprint too early. As we'll look off to the west, here comes the Cadillac from Don Thornton. Here comes the Moto, and here comes your peloton, opening up the sprint a long way out. Okay, Flyer, some of the other racers come to the front. It's a yellow jersey we've not called all day long, as it will be 6:14. Jackson Clary, he actually was the winner of our field preem, racing with Midwest Evo out of Indiana. The Hoosier takes the men's Cat 4 win here on day 2 of the 2024 edition of the St. Francis Tulsa Tough.
Check.